This is the latest M135 N55 that I've swapped the engine in, and unfortunately I'm getting a smell of burnt oil coming into the cabin. And what this seems to be is the rocker cover leaking somewhere and directing oil onto the cat, which is then burning off and making quite a smell inside and outside of the car. I think rocker covers are quite common on these for leaking or even cracking on occasion. So looks like the best option for me is going to be to remove this and either change the seal or try to seal with silicone if possible, which I imagine some people might prefer to do, save a bit of money. So I've got these covers at the back. These 10mm plastic clips do unlock, but quite often they don't require turning. Now this seal here has a positive cable running inside it, just at the front. So if you did want to disconnect this, just behind this cover, you've got a 10mm. But if you were to disconnect this, you'll need to disconnect the battery in the boot. Now you've got these strut braces to remove. I think these are E16 or E18 stars, but you can remove them with a 15mm socket. Now with the strut braces out of the way, 10mm bolts on this plastic cover. The two that are furthest back don't need to be removed fully, as the holes that they go in are slotted. This gives us full access to the back of the engine now. I need to remove all the wiring from the top of the engine, so that's going to be all of the injector connectors. Undo these two T25 torque screws that hold the wiring in position. So these little connectors here, if you just stick a tool down the side of them and pull on the wiring, not very easy to show with one hand, but stick the tool, pull the connector out, T30 torque screw on the bracket for the catalytic converter connectors, so the O2 sensors. Now an 8mm attaches an earthing cable between every two injectors. Now this is on a stud, a 10mm socket stud, and sometimes if these aren't tight enough it could turn the stud, which would make it very difficult to remove it, but as long as they haven't been over tightened, which they shouldn't have been because they're only holding on an earth strap, that's all the injector wiring. We can just push out of the way. Now we can get the fuel rail out of the way. So we've got 11mm bolts down here, 17mm union. I think these are 13mm. I've got 14mm spanner. A bit short of tools at my unit at the moment. got the crankcase breather, and rocker breather even. The large positive cable running down this side. Just need to pull it out of position. If you do want to take it off, it's 13mm over here. Beware, this rocker breather snaps very, very easily. Didn't put any pressure on it at all, and managed to snap it off. So I'll have to replace that. It's very, very brittle. These engines do run at a very high temperature, so I'm not surprised. To be honest, this might have unearthed another issue that I've been having with the car, which is MAF codes and lean fuel mixture, which can be related to these breather and the PCV system in general. And you can see I've got quite a lot of oily residue on the top of the boost pipe here, which looks to have come down from here, but also may have come down from the rocker cover. So either way, at least I'm replacing it and I'll be able to investigate it. This cable trunking that goes around the back of the engine covers up one or two of the bolts that we need to remove. One here is on the corner, you'll be able to see it. I think that just pushing that out of the way allows us access. So at this point you just need to remove every E10, I think they are, star bolt that you can see. If you haven't got an E10 socket, then an 8mm standard socket does fit on. What I might try down the back is a flexi, see if I can get down there. Right, now hopefully with every one of these bolts loosened, the rocker should be loose. But you'll want to be pretty sure, because if you're not, and I'll speak from experience, if you've missed any of these screws, then you will crack the rocker cover, which I have done on an N55 before. Taking out the two furthest coils, just in case. Might give me a little bit more room. Appear to be anything other than the trunking causing it to stick, which does come out. Well, looks like I'll definitely be replacing the gasket as it's ripped at the bottom. Let's see if we can find out where it was leaking. I'd say that the gasket was probably leaking all the way along and running down this here and then dripping down onto the exhaust, which I can't really show a clear view of, but right at that corner it's just above one of the O2 sensors. So I think I'll order myself a new gasket kit and get this breather replaced. I'm not going to show the refitting because I'm pretty short of time at the moment, so I'll get this uploaded as a removal video only. Make sure that you clean up the surfaces before fitting the new gasket or refitting, even if you're just using silicone gasket maker. And obviously take special care not to drop any debris into the engine while the rocker cover is off.